It's a What's up, War Room World? It's your boy Dev, War Room Sports. And I know you're wondering why I'm sitting here with lab goggles, my rubber gloves, my white lab coat. Alright, it's not a white lab coat, it's a white War Room Sports hoodie. But that's how we do in the War Room Sports lab. We got a question the other day on Facebook, facebook.com/War Room Sports. From one of our page members. Shout out to page member Johan S. Powell. And he sent a very good question into the group. The question reads as follows. It's right there on your screen. But for those of you, where reading is not really fundamental, I'll read it for you. Johan says, building the ultimate basketball player, what player's skills or attribute can I use? Here's the rule. Only one skill or attribute per player, so you can't say Shaq's height and strength. It must be either his height or strength. It can't be one player either, i.e. no LeBron or Kobe or Jordan. So if you didn't really understand those rules, what the brother was saying was that we're going to build the ultimate basketball player, and we're going to do that by taking the attributes of different players throughout NBA history. However, we can't use the same player more than one time, and we can't just say, I want my player to be LeBron James. I want my player to be Michael Jordan, etc. You have to build your player through attributes from other players. So I just came from the lab, and I'm going to let you guys know what I cooked up. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer for this. This is my ultimate player, and I want you guys, after you see mine, to go into the comment section and build your ultimate player and let us know, who you would use for certain attributes to build your ultimate player. All right, I broke mine down into 3 categories: physical attributes, mental attributes, and basketball skill set. Now, physical attributes are basically things that kind of came natural to you. Your size, strength. I mean, those things could be honed, things like strength and athletic ability and stuff like that. However, it's pretty much God-given. Mental attributes, it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's the mental part of the game, your basketball awareness, etc., etc. Then comes the basketball skill set. Now, these are things that you learn specifically for the game of basketball. So I'm going to go back and start with the physical attributes of my ultimate player. Measurables. Now, when I say measurables, size, height, weight, I like my player to be a perimeter player, maybe a small forward, maybe a semi-big 2-guard, or maybe just a big-ass point guard. So I'd like my measurables to be that of one Mr. LeBron James, King James himself. 6'8", 250, 260 pounds. I think that's the perfect size for this beast of a player that I created in the lab. Okay, I'd like my player to have the vertical leap of one Mr. Darrell Griffith, a.k.a. Dr. Dunkenstein. If you young bucks out there didn't know, Dr. Dunkenstein had a 48-inch vertical, which actually is the same vertical that Michael Jordan measured at. But, I need Michael Jordan for something else. So I'm going to use Darrell Griffith, Dr. Dunkenstein, for vertical leap. Now, overall athletic ability, I'm going to go with somebody. Some of you may have thought of this guy in this category. Some of you probably not. I'm going to go with the 5'9" athletic wonder, Mr. Nate Robinson. You might be looking a little puzzled right now, but think about Nate Robinson and his speed, his quickness, his jumping ability, and just the entire package that he comes with athletically. He just was only blessed with a 5'9" frame. But if I put his athleticism into my 6'8", 250-pound monster, then you know what it's going to be when you get out on the basketball court. All right, strength. Strength, the first thing you might think of is one Mr. Shaquille O'Neal. But I'm going to go with the words of all of my old heads who acted like Wilt Chamberlain might have been an anomaly. He may have been Sasquatch. He may not have really existed. So I'm going to go with Wilt Chamberlain in the strength department because I heard Wilt Chamberlain may have been the strongest human being to ever grace the planet Earth. Quickness. Imagine this. 6'8", 250 pounds, Nate, with the quickness of a Nate Tiny Archibald. You thought I was going to say Allen Iverson. Shout out to Dwayne Wade, because as two guards go, you know, I've never seen anybody as quick as Dwayne Wade, but I'm going to go with Nate Tiny Archibald in the quickness category. And for endurance, I'm going to go with the one, the only, the answer, Allen Iverson. Think about it. Who do you know that had a motor like Allen Iverson? Allen Iverson could play 48 minutes a game, not break a sweat, go out, smoke, drink, eat tacos in the bathroom, not practice, and come back and do it again. Allen Iverson. So let's go to the mental attributes here. For basketball IQ, I'm going to go with Jason Kidd. I've always thought Jason Kidd was one of the more intelligent basketball players that I'd ever seen. The proof is in the pudding. The man was retired for 2 days, and now he's a head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Court awareness. Now, this is a little different for me than just strictly basketball IQ. With court awareness, I'm also taking into account, you know, your spacing ability on the floor, your movement, you know, not actually wasting movement on the court, your passing ability, knowing where everyone else is. Who can you go with in this category besides the great Magic Johnson? So that's who I'm going to go with, Magic Johnson. Poise. I'd love for my basketball player to be poised at all time. I don't want anything rattling him on the court. So I'm going to go with Larry Legend, Mr. Larry Bird, because when have you seen Larry Bird rattled on a basketball court? You may have seen Moses Malone with his hand around his neck and Doc whooping his ass, but that's different from being rattled within the game of basketball. They rattled him in another way. But so we're going to go with Larry Bird for poise. For will to me means sheer competitive edge, just mental dominance over your opponents in the game, and just disdain for losing. Who else can you go with in that category but Michael Jordan? So I'm going to go with MJ with will. Now let's move on to the basketball skill set. This is, like I explained earlier, these are the things that you learn strictly through the game of basketball. So I'd like my player to have the ball handling skills of a Kenny Anderson. I'd like him to have the jump shot of a Ray Allen. Now that's like overall jump shot and long range, because I'm going to take it down to mid-range now. I want my player to have the mid-range game, not just the mid-range jump shot, but everything that he created mid-range. I want my player to have the mid-range game of the Boston Strangler, Andrew Toney. I want my player to have the footwork of one Mr. Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. I'd like my player to have the post game of a Kevin McHale. Now, for the footwork and the post game category, I could have gone Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. That would have been the easy choice. But I think for the post work, Kevin McHale, you know, Olajuwon had the footwork. He had all kinds of moves, but I've never seen anybody in the post with as many moves as Kevin McHale, Mr. Up and Under himself. You know, and plus, since I'm making like a Frankenstein creation here, you know, I have to have a player who kind of looks like Frankenstein so I can get the head right and the shoulders and all that kind of stuff. Defensive range, I'm going to go with one Mr. Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie Pippen probably is the best perimeter defender that I've ever seen. So if my player has the strength of a Wilt Chamberlain, he has the body of a LeBron James, the athleticism of a Nate Robinson, the quickness of a tiny Archibald, you know what I'm saying, and then has the defensive range of a Scottie Pippen to add on to all of that, he could probably guard the 1 through the 5. And I'm not talking about Scottie, I'm talking about my player, because he has the range of a Scottie Pippen, plus the attributes of all those other guys I named. And lastly, we're going to go with rebounding. Easy choice would be to go with the worm, Dennis Rodman, but I'm going to take it even farther back than that. I'm going to have my guy rebound like the great 11-time champion Bill Russell. So take that in. Make your list. Leave it in the comment section. As usual, we'd like you to rate the video. Click that like button. Subscribe to the page. Check out everything else we're doing all around the internet. Just go to warroomsports.com. And if you want to get with me on Twitter about this list or about anything else, the address is right there at DevMacWR Sports, or you can get it at the company at War Room Sports. Hey, build your ultimate player and let us know, let us know what you want to go with. Maybe my list was not good enough for you. I'm pretty sure I'll get some slander in the comment section, but it's all good because, like I said, this is my list, not yours. So until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity and be steadfast in the war against ignorance. As my man Jimmy always tell you, we will see you chumps on top. Shout out to Johan Powell for the question. And if anybody else want to, throw some questions at us, do it on our Facebook page, do it on our Twitter page. We make a video of it. Peace.
Kuwait is the war room.